I gotta say, I'm incredibly excited to be a part of your firm. I mean, the clients you have are absolutely...
Fuck the clients. Your only responsibility is to put meat on the table. You got a girlfriend?
I'm married. I have a wife. Her name's Teresa. She cuts hair.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Think about Teresa. Name of the game? Move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket.
Right. But if you can make a client's money,
Thank you.
Thank you. Stan, you're able to do drugs during the day and still function, still do your job.
How the fuck else would you do this job? Cocaine and hookers, my friend.
Right. I gotta say, I'm incredibly excited to be a part of your firm. I mean, the clients you have are absolutely...
Fuck the clients. Your only responsibility is to put meat on the table. You got a girlfriend?
I'm married. I have a wife. Her name's Teresa. She cuts hair.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Think about Teresa. Name of the game? Move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket.
Right. But if you can make a client's money at the same time, it's advantageous to everyone. Correct?
Number one rule of Wall Street. Nobody, okay, if you're Warren Buffett or if you're Jimmy Buffett, nobody knows if the stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or in fucking circles. Least of all stockbrokers. Right? It's all a fugazi. You know what fugazi is?
No. Fugazi. It's fake.
Yeah, fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real. Right? All right? Stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
We don't create shit. We don't build anything.
No.
So if you got a client who bought stock at 8 and now sits at 16, he's all fucking happy. He wants to cash in, liquidate, take his fucking money and run home. You don't let him do it. Because that would make it real.
Right.
No, what do? You get another brilliant idea. A special idea. Another situation. Another stock to reinvest his earnings in.
Yes, man. One of my favorite scenes from the Street movie. Oh, it's funny. He's like, now it ain't about the clients, man. It's about the churn. That's how they made money back in the day. That's how stockbrokers made money. Sometimes some people, the book is a lot better than the movie. Sometimes people think, maybe I need a real estate license to buy real estate. No! You don't need approval. Sometimes that's just in. This is WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery. This was part of the original parent company was AT&T. And we got these shares free in a spinoff. Much higher, by the way. It's kind of been a shit show since. I've been accumulating shares. Was able to get some down in here. I'm a little pissed because I didn't get enough here, and then I had it on my list. And then yesterday, it moved above the 20, and I should have jumped, and I did not. So that's on me. But if you look, it was on my list this week. I just noticed checking the list, I didn't have AT&T on here for stage 1, so added to AT&T on here. Hopefully everybody can hear me on YouTube, man. Okay, what's up, Steven? Carlos, I see everybody. What's up, Curvy? Yeah, so had some dividends come in this week already. What's today, Wednesday? USA paid, as did SO.
You locked me out. Here, I was going to ask you to go day drinking. Never mind.
Oh, you what?
I was going to invite you to go day drinking. Never mind.
Give me a minute.
You locked me out.
Anyway, I had sorry, people got locked out. Where's my man at that was here the last time I was live? And where you at, bro? Will MPW ever go up? It's going up now. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I have a little lesson here. Anyway, this week I'm collecting $959 in dividends. So far, USA paid last night. So did SO, and that together came about 370 of that 959. USA is a closed-end fund that I picked up at the end of, was it the end of last year, or the beginning of last year? That and GLV, and added to these a bunch, man. I stayed on these for about 2 or 3 months, I think, and just all these stage ones adding, and then like right here, if you look at this, let's draw it, and you'll notice if you follow me, I get onto something, I build a position, and then I move on to something else, and that's how you diversify over time. And so, you see the pattern, right? And so what I don't know what the price will be. I'm just watching this floating movement of price as it runs through these 3 stages or 4 stages. And so I don't know if the next stage 1 will be the same price, or maybe it'll be up here. Maybe they'll run like this, it'll pull a little, then it'll go, and then it'll run up, and then you'll get these stage 1s, and each successive stage 1 can be a little bit higher. And it's still a stage 1, And so I look at in terms of a portfolio and not an individual stock. And a lot of people will refer to this as, well, I'm lowering my cost basis. I guess. I don't know. That in and of itself isn't a good idea. People will say that like it's a good idea. Well, I'm lowering my cost basis. Well, what if it's going to go to fucking 0? You're going to lower it to 0? So just because something went lower is not a reason to buy it or add to it. Sometimes think, maybe because you own a stock, you're like, well, it's down, I got to add to it. It may not be in a good spot. Or maybe the company's been revalued and now it's worth less money. So never let the fact that because you own it, that means you have to do something you don't. And I wouldn't look at it as lowering my cost basis. I would look at it as adding to my position. If the idea is to build a portfolio and hold them over a long period of time, let's look at AT&T. Nice move out of this today. So I picked up some today around lunchtime. I don't know why I didn't have this on my board. I just noticed I didn't have it on my board. I think because I'm just that unfucking excited about it, to be honest. I do think it's undervalued. Morningstar has it undervalued. It's trading underneath the 200. That sets up for an opportunity, even though I'm not excited about the stock per se. But the reality is there's not much else on sale. And down here was a nice little ad, and then we were able to ride it up. And so I have no doubt, I don't know, but I have no doubt it's probably going higher. But no, I'm not excited about the stock, but there's really not a lot of stuff on sale right now. So the way that I put money into stocks is, I'm not chasing them as they move higher. I'm trying to get them before they break out. And so, let's see, what else did we have on here? So last Friday, was it last Friday? Added to this oil trade. And then if you saw over the weekend, the Saudis cut production. Now, other people waited for that news, and when that news came, then they buy oil stocks. To me, that's a retarded way. That's a terrible way to do things. I don't care about that news. For all I know, that shit's made up. So what I'm watching, this is USO. This is the easiest way to track the price of oil. So I don't know anything about that. I don't really give a shit about the Saudis or any of that stuff. Here's the stage 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're kind of doing this one that tried to break, didn't, and came back into the box, which is usually very bullish. And so if you're looking at this, I have my pattern, right? And now we're on this side. West side. What's up, OG Box? Jason, what's up, man? So that's what I see when I look at oil. I don't really give a shit about the Saudis or what's going on there. I see the commodity is trading below. Now that's USO. That's a proxy. Let's look at Brit, which is usually on most platforms, might be different. This is the continuous contract for crude. And so it's trading at $76.14 a barrel. Now, this is a continuous contract, so it's using, like, I think the first 3 front contracts. We won't get into futures and how all that shit works, but basically, this is the price of oil. It's $76 a barrel. If you just look at that, look at that chart pattern, man. And so the money flow is a pattern it's organic, man. It's alive. Look at that. Now that's a pretty wide box, but it is what it is. This one down here is a little messy. And so, not the prettiest, but it is that. Now, when I see that, and we're in here, I mean, I flip a coin. I expect it to either go up or down. And typically, whenever it does, it just keeps doing that for a minute. And that's how you get a stage 2 move up, man. And then the same with a stage 4 breakdown. That's what we saw here with AT&T, right? So you saw this stage 4 come down. It put in its box. See, this one's nice, neat, and orderly, right? We can even zoom in on it. So I'm looking for an anchor point. So think about it. If you're in a boat, the anchor is the lowest low. I don't know it's the lowest low until the next day goes higher. And that would confirm this being the lowest low. And then the next day. And so I need these days to hold. That's the only way it can build a box if you think of a box, okay? And you want to make a habit of just looking for these. So my eyes always is trying to see boxes. Some people call them something different. I'm just telling you what I call them. You see them? There's even one right here. I really want at least 4 candles, or 4 bars. And these here get ugly because you can see how spread this is. But then the comeback is kind of the same. So when I look at this, it's just a big box. Meaning I got to create it in my head. I'm trying to, as price moves every day we get a new piece of data, and that's what today is, right? AT&T closed at $16.05. $16.05. And if you just look at that day, look at the tick to the right. That's the close, right? Oh man, this is a work of art. Let's take this in. I'm on YouTube. Let's take that in. Look at that. What's up, Anthony? 1605. Now that tick to the right, man. That's the close. Now GP got in right here. Now the other day, remember we did that lift, same thing, man. Ain't no way I'm moving it. That's just other people looking at the market very similar. I'm trying to beat those people. This is a zero-sum game, guys. Like, make no mistake about it. Somebody sold me AT&T today, right here. And then it went up. Thank you. Let me see where I got it. So that guy missed the move up because he gave it to me. And I was right, and he was wrong. Now, he got paid. He got paid. All right, says I got filled on AT&T at $15.88. So I should have bought yesterday. Now, we did buy the other day over here. Or I did. Let's see. Let me, let's pull that up. Now, I hope you're logging these, man. A life worth living is a life worth recording. So, you know, this is a log I kept for myself. I used to more keep it on paper, and then some of the pages you see, I would print those off. Each week I would print off I would usually print the when I got into it. And a lot of swing trades and position trades can last for years, but a swing trade, might be a few days to a week. And so I would print it off, and then I would mark where I thought my targets were, and I'd write it up on the chart, and then I'd stick it into my book, man. So I carried my trading along with me. That's how the money flow came about. Is I would take pictures. I would do all this stuff. Why somebody's calling me right now? And yeah, I think you're going to have a hard time being successful if you don't have a trading log, if you're not writing this down, if you're not somehow creating some sort of written manual for yourself on how you're going to do things. Trim TSLL, it's been a nice move. I don't know why that's so blurry. Here we go, that might help. You know what's crazy? I put this newsletter out free. Almost nobody ever says shit about it. It's like 45 fucking pages a week. I go through here, updating this, putting in pictures, fucking connecting it to my YouTube. Going through all this stuff, and you're too busy to even say thank you, man. Not even a fucking... I don't understand that, George, David. Makes me sad. What's up, Paul? Appreciate you, bro. So trim TSLL. Now, why would we trim that? We're going to get back to AT&T. Don't forget our lesson here. But let's look at TSLL. We've been destroying Tesla trade. And I still had some people... I saw some people getting out, man. Getting out of the fucking trade. Worried about whatever talks, man. Stay with the money flow, man. Don't worry about the news, man. Just stay with it. Watch your charts. I don't even watch the news, I'm going to be honest. Like regular news. Like regular, just like Fox News or CNN. I can't think of anything dumber to do with your time than to sit and watch the fucking news. Now, if you're going to watch any news at all, like every day when you get up, it should be CNBC or Fox Business. Or if you're just like a nerd, you could turn on Bloomberg or something. But if you're spending your time on anything else, you're just, dude, you're going to be broke. Like you can't help it. Your brain starts to fucking go broke as you're listening to it. So TSL, the reason we trimmed it is the RSI is banging off the charts, and it's also hitting a previous high. So if I'm swing trading, I mean, guys, we've been trading the shit out of this Tesla. Same setup over here, right? Thought we had an anchor, started to move, kind of broke it, but came back. And then it hung around in here, which told me, remember that this is when we stepped in, man. Right there. We actually bought the very bottom. Rode it up. RSI goes extreme, and it goes into a stage 3. Almost perfect. Just like that. Sideways, broke out, ran up, sideways, broke down, right? And that's that right there. And that's what we don't know. We don't know how far down the stage 4 goes. We don't know how far this goes. You know, we don't know how far up a stage 2 goes. And so sometimes they can be really small, and it almost looks like the pattern's not working because, again, it's alive, it's organic. Money flow is a living thing. It's a living, flowing thing. It's alive. It's actually art. I tried explaining this to an artist, they didn't get it. Money flow is actually a fractal pattern. It's this here. This is just a fractal pattern, and it works on all different time scales, you know. So I trade the same if I'm day trading on a 1-minute chart as I would on a daily. A couple little things I might do slightly different, you know, that we do. I do a dual RSI. A couple little things that might do slightly different that help you as far as in a day trading setting where you need to lock it in and you can't carry it over. So on this, what we're seeing with this AT&T is it's breaking out in a sense that it's breaking out of its stage 1 box. But because these moving averages were so far apart, it's going to take a minute before it can actually get above this 20-day moving average. And then probably want to work its way up to at least that 200. It's still a shitty stock. AT&T is a shitty stock, shitty company. I've owned it forever. It's been shitty for a minute. So, so fractals a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. So as I watch this price move, what I'm really watching is this here. And if you're in Discord with me, we had a lesson there in our I think I put it in the general, but it was in our day trade room. But I was talking about like how the 5-day, 10-day, 20 RSI support and resistance, MACD, and the actual chart itself, the price of the bars, right, where it's actually printing, all of that comes together. It's like 6 elements. It's like almost like checkpoints, but it's alive, man. So it's pure. It's like organic. And so as this goes into this stage 3 up here, what happens? You begin to see that moving average convergence, divergence, where moving averages start to converge. They start to converge. And when you start to see that convergence, you'll start to see price go sideways. Well, during that convergence, you know, your moving averages can't really be trusted. What's the most important thing? How much does it cost to join? That's not the question, bro. Why does everybody always talk to me like I'm a prostitute? Hey, G, how much to touch your boobs? Why you guys do that, man? Why you guys talk to me like that? You don't even know me. You should be like, man, let me get this dude's book and then watch a video, then like send me a nice note. You made it sound like you just clicked some shit and joined. Man, I don't even know you, man. You might be a goddamn terrorist or something. You might be a pervert. I don't know. Start sending me all kind of weird D-pics. I'm not into that, bro. I'm trying to trade stocks, bro. So I don't know, man. We got to get to know each other first. Let's see. Let me close this. Uh-oh. God damn. They weren't throttling me for a minute, so I gotta. And so you can see the opposite there is here, we have Tesla just drifting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. This is a stage 2, okay? And this is just going to keep going and going and going. And yet, I promise you, you will have people. And they will sell this. I'm not talking about trimming it, okay? Or get out of it or make some decision just because it went up. So you're like, well, I've made profit. I've made money. I have to do something. That's a stupid reason to do something, by the way. Just because the value went up, it's supposed to go up. That's why we bought it. Get what I'm saying? So don't sell something because it went up. What are you going to do? You're trying to buy something. It's going up. It's going up. So sometimes, man, you got to work on your thinking, okay? You got to work on your thinking. Whenever I do one-on-ones, I can catch this a lot in people's voice and the way they will word things. Sometimes when I ask, like, well, tell me about this stock, they'll be like, well, I'm down 30%. And I'm like, okay, what does that have to do? That has nothing to do with nothing. Like, that may or may not be a good reason to own a stock. Like, what? You get what I'm saying? Like, we don't even need to preference that. I don't know if you guys ever hear me do that. I don't really do that. I don't really preference it unless someone asks me or something. Or if somehow it's pertinent, but it's usually not. It's usually not pertinent, like what I paid for it. An example would be, this is crazy here. Let me show you. Yeah, and then Blair said facts don't sell until the 20 MA and the 5 MA crossover. Why is my internet? Yes, that's true. That's partially true though, bro. And usually usually when you word it that way, you're usually pretty new. Just because there's so much more to it, man. There's the alignment. It's not really that the moving averages crossed. It's the numerical alignment. The 5-day is now above the 10-day, and the 10-day is now above the 20. It's not really the crossing. It's the numerical alignment. Because that can only happen based on price putting in days. And so it's just a little math formula. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day. It's taking these days, averaging the price. And all it's doing is just giving you a visual picture of what you can already see. And so I think it was a couple weeks ago I was doing that where I would take the moving averages off and then I would go and pick where I thought price broke above the 20. And I was within 1 or 2 bars like almost every time. And because this of price movement is the most important thing. Like seeing the boxes, seeing price move, and what the moving averages do for us. One is a confirmation because we can look at, is price above the moving averages or below it? And so if it's below it, and yet the moving averages are moving up, we know price is pretty volatile, right? Jumping up, down, up, down. But really, it's all about this. What's up, man?
Is this address?
Yeah, for that house.
Yeah, I'm trying to see it. That's 624.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it down for him.
All
He
right.
had to go. Yeah, thank you, sir. Sorry, wish I could get interrupted more. It'd sure make it easier to do a class. No, I don't pay attention to open interest. Jay Yancey on YouTube says, I remember when I heard GP say utilities will always, for certain, go back to the 200-day moving average. He has never told a lie. Well, if you're an investigator and you're listening, I would never use the word certain. I probably told a lie. I am a legend, but I do believe it goes back to the 200-day. And it has my whole life. So, just in case anybody was wondering, I didn't tell that man for certain. Not a CPA. I'm not a comedian, even though I do tell a lot of jokes. I'm not a prostitute, even though people treat me like I am. Let's see. And the fucked up part is I'm a cheap one. Let's see. What were we let's fix a look at something he said. Oh, as far as open interest, nah. But why would you sell that the trend's already established? Well, we would trim. I mean, I guess you're talking about some people just sell. They see news, they see shit going on. Sometimes you'll hear people say stupid things like, well, I've made enough profit, or I was happy with this. I mean, I've never said that. I have never said, oh, I was happy with 20%. Fuck that. I'd rather lose. I'd rather lose. That's just me, though. I'm a maniac. I'm trying to get 100, 150. I'm not looking for 10% deals, man. Now, if you're a loser, like if you lose a lot, maybe you got picked last all the time in dodgeball. I don't know. Maybe all the kids hit you. You were fat or something. I don't know, man. You know, I don't know your struggles. Maybe all the other ladies developed before you. I don't know. I don't know what you were struggling with, man. But in the market, you know, the market doesn't know that. And a lot of our insecurities and these things will drag along with us. I know whenever I start teaching someone like day trading using the money flow, which is this pattern here, you know, just the fear of losing causes people to do dumb things, you know. Oh, I'm up, so I'm just going to take that money. Or, oh, I only trade till 11 or trade to, whatever, man. People, you know, it's just a constant, rather than just trusting the system. And it's okay to lose, man. You need to lose. You know, losing's part of trading, right? So let's look at Gush. So we were expecting, I was expecting the market to run. And so, you know, on Sundays, I do my little board, sometimes in my book. Here in New Orleans, I like to do it on the board. And I do it on Sunday night, man. And so I do 6/3/23. I think I started working on this one on Saturday. Sometimes I start working on Friday at the close of market if I'm feeling froggy. You know, or I'm alone if I'm drinking. Sometimes I'll slowly put it together over the weekend. And I'm not trying to list every stock I own, if you notice that. I mean, there's plenty of stocks that I own that aren't on this list. And there's reasons they're not on there. I don't like the chart, or maybe I got enough of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's just something I'm not, you know, it's not catching my eye. You got to remember, I'm not trading stocks, I'm trading a portfolio. And whether I'm up or down in a stock doesn't really affect whether I'm going to play it or not. I'm buying stage ones, I'm trimming stage threes. And someone said something in Discord today, and it'll be one of the hardest things you will struggle with as a trader, that trimming a stage three, even though you're underwater, like let's say this was PayPal. And let's say you're in PayPal, and let's say, you know, over here you're still underwater, say 20 or 30%. And then it runs up and it bangs this RSI. Well, that stuff is really determined by the type of trader you are. You need to fucking decide what you're doing, man. You know, you can't go buy a rental property if you don't know what the fuck it should look like. So there's the science of getting rich talks about one of the hardest things to do is spend time in contemplation, meaning thinking. What does a trade look like to you? So when you say that word, what does it mean? Well, you know, the dynamics of a trade is the entry, the size, and the exit. That's it. You're going to enter the trade. When you do, you're going to buy a certain amount. At some point, you're going to exit it, either with a stop loss, or maybe you're going to use a limit order, and maybe you're going to trim out, but eventually you're going to get out, right? And so you want to, you know, think that through in your head. So one of the things you'll see if anyone that trades around me, and let's say we're looking at this right here, and if you remember, guys, there's no commission. Fuck, dude, I can buy one share. And sometimes, well, what good is that? I'm playing, man. But I would, that's my anchor point. So how do we know this is the lowest low? The next day told us. Cool. Let's see if we get a few more days. 1, 2. Now I got a little box going, right? All I need now is price to get above that 5-day. Right there's my trigger. Now that's a stage 1. Well, that only makes sense if you're trading stage 1s. If you're waiting on breakouts, which is fine too, that the thing about the breakout is it's confirming that price is going in the upward direction. The stage 1 is not confirming that. Okay, if you buy stage 1, you're going against the trend because the prevailing trend is still down. Price just stopped and is now going sideways. Often, in my experience, it then breaks and runs up. Especially if the RSI went extreme. It's just reversion to the mean, meaning price goes too far, pulls back, goes too low, goes up. And that's just natural flow of price. And so as this ran up, that's what this indicator tells us, the relative strength index. So anywhere on here, you'd see me saying, oh, trimming, QQQ, TQQ. So I hold a position trade in TQQ. Pull that up. So yesterday, I think, and the day before, we were trimming it. Yeah, Lisa just said, what a time to be alive and trading. People who don't trade, dude, it's fucking weird. I don't understand it. I don't know why you wouldn't. All right. If anybody's listening, if there's anybody out there, 6'5". Now, for the record, today's 6'7", right? Where's it at? Trimming. Oh, right here. 526. Okay. Let's see where it was. 526. Is that what we said? Come on, man. It always does this to me whenever I'm on Instagram. Ooh. So right here, I trimmed some. I could have swore I trimmed some more right here, but I didn't write it in the log. It's possible I did. Do you want to be selling when people are buying? No, brother. Hey, man, you better get my book today, goddammit. Let me try to help you, bro. Now, get the book. You got to learn these stages. You can't be out here, man. That's like being out in the world and you ain't using protection. You got to get the book. Come on, man. Yeah, so we're close to the top. I'm actually a little mad I didn't hit it right here. We could have. We've been watching it. But still a nice run, right? Beautiful run. If you go back and look in Discord, you see this fake stage 4? I put a little class on that. This is a sell-off candle. And it is, part of the stage 4. And we had a little thing on that, on recognizing the fake breakouts from the, or breakdowns from the, you'll get a lot of fake ones, and that'll shake people out, man. And you should never be shaken out if price is on this side of the green line. Like 2 or 3 down days, if you're like in there, oh, I think we're going down, it's like, stop. You need days down, man. That's how price moves. As long as the 5 days above the 10, 10's above the 20, and price is above the, then everything is going in the right direction. When the RSI gets extreme, we got to be worried, right? Now we're worried that we're hitting this topping stage. Doesn't mean it's going to go down, but if I'm looking to take profits, that's when I want to do it. Back to what I was saying on this. Let's say, let's say, yeah, we can use this as an example. Not the best one, but let's say you want to be more aggressive. This is not for everyone, but you can trade around positions. I wouldn't do this in buy and holds and stuff. This is not the point of this. But let's say this is PayPal or something, and I'm down real big. A lot of times when people get down real big, they stop buying stage 1s. The money's made in buying stage 1s, okay? Very short-term trading, the money's made buying the breakout, which is price right here. That day right there is the breakout. When price rips above the green, it's out of the stage 1 area. As an investor, I'm trying to bring it down a little, and I want to get it right here. I like to get it perfect. Once it goes 1 or 2 days past perfect, fuck it. I don't even want to do it, man. Fuck it. I don't even deserve it. Fuck me. I don't deserve to have shares. So I won't buy if I don't buy it perfect. And so I'm trying to execute on every position. Doesn't mean it's going to go up or down. It was my execution of the entry was perfect according to my strategy. And this is it. There's your anchor, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar, 5 bar. They're all making a box, and price got above the 5-day, and then we run, right? And that would be a perfect trade, by the way. It would hit the RSI. When it hits that RSI, I fully anticipate, again, not knowing, I'm just playing a game of numbers here, like blackjack. I don't know the next hand, but baby, give me an 11 and I'll double it every time, because mathematically, odds are in your favor. So when I see that RSI bang, I want to trim it, and now I assume we're going stage 3. I'm not assuming we're going down. I usually assume we're going up. We're going to stay with the trend, and that's when you'll get these little shallow pullbacks. But let's say this is PayPal, and let's say when the RSI hits, you're still underwater 50%. 50%. This is what happens. They'll be like, but I can't trim it, Gerald. I'm underwater. I'm in the... And they let the price they paid, like somehow RSI gives a fuck. RSI don't care what you paid, man. When it hits, you're going to start to see price pull back. It don't give a shit what you paid. Nobody does. Your mama doesn't even care. Call her and ask her, hey, Mom, you care what price I paid for something? Nobody cares. So if I'm in a non-dividend paying position, let's say PayPal, Google, Amazon, these type of stocks, you trade around them. So I'm going to be looking to add some here. It's going to run up. I'm going to take down, 15, 20% of the stock. Starts to go over. I might take down some more, man. Let it come down. What? Put it back on. Call fucking trading. And the number of people that bought my book that are sitting there holding all these growth stocks, whining, can't execute on a fucking trade because the price is below what you paid. And I'm like, well, I can't find that anywhere in the book where that matters. I read the whole damn thing, man. I couldn't find it. Oh, don't execute on the money flow if you're underwater. And so people will let what they paid for something just fucking ruin them. They can't execute on a trading strategy. They can't think it out. He says, I'm glad I stuck with it. Was it a long, hard time, Jay? How long you own MPW, Jay? I'm not going to pick on you, bro. It's been a struggle. We can do it together. We can hang in there. The stress and the pressure of it all as I laid in bed sweating. I really hope MPW comes back. Will it ever come back? Will it ever go up, Gerald? Ever, 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 ever? I lose a lot of followers like this, man. I did with the oil. I lost a lot of followers, man. It would drop huge. And I'd be like, buy Exxon, stage 1. That's what I'm doing. And then it would drop. I'm like, buy the next stage 1. Just keep fucking doing it. Your whole fucking life. Your whole fucking life. Yeah, where's my man at? I was picking on you yesterday, bro. Will it ever come back? Ever, ever, ever? Ever, Gerald? Ever? Yeah, man, it's going to come back. So, I put a lot of content out about these banking stocks. I tried to put it on my subscription thing, letting people know. You get a major crash in a sector, you can't let this shit fly by you, man. And you want these things to take a while, guys. Everybody's too goddamn impatient, man. It ain't sex, man. It ain't going to be 2 minutes. Like, it's going to take a little while. Goddamn. I mean, it takes like, how long is a semester at school to finish part 1 of history? So it takes a minute for a bank collapse, man. Goddamn. Like, you got people like, oh, he's dragging on forever. We've been holding it forever. And you go look and it's been like 90 days. And then you take the 90 days and you're like, well, how many trade days is that? 20, 40, 60 fucking days. 60. Like 60 fucking days. Trade days, work days. 60. That's not investing, by the way. 60 fucking years, that would be investing. So, when you get these situations, you don't want it going up, man. I know that is so hard for people to understand. These banking stocks are going to recover. And a lot of my friends are going to be like, man, I wish I'd have bought some more. And it's like, I know, but remember when you were bitching when it kept going down? Yeah, of course you sold Tesla. Dude, everybody does this. I'm telling you, they'll buy a stock at 155. It goes to like 250. And you're like, look how smart I am. And you'll sell it. And it's like, why'd you sell it? Well, I had all this profit. And how do you ever get 5,000%? So there are people that have owned Tesla for 10, 12 fucking years, never sold it, dude. They have no reason to. They're just getting richer and richer and richer. And then here we come along and buy it and it goes up $12 and we're like selling it to capitalize and throw a party. So whenever you're playing these things like banking crashes, utility crashes, you're going to have these over and over and over and over. A stock going up is a stupid reason to sell it. Just go in the bathroom and just write on your forehead, I'm a dipshit. Just write it. I sold a stock that was going up. that happens. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm telling this from life lessons. The worst things I regret is not buying things, it's selling shit. I've rode four stocks to zero, I think 4 or 5. Owned hundreds, of course. Hold 80 something now. And if you ask me, what is it you regret? I can only think of 2 of the tickers that went to zero. I know there's 4. I have to sit and think on them. But the number that I watched just go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, and I sold them, it'll make you sick, man. I haven't done anything to Pepsi in like 7 years. Nothing. One time a guy was like, you should write covered calls against it. You should go fuck yourself. I'm not writing shit against this stock. All it does is go up. Why would I be fucking greedy and need to make an extra? Like, it's already paying you 13%, 14% a year. So there's a lot better ways to make money than writing covered calls against your favorite stock, dude. So look at this stock. Yeah, let's fuck it up and write covered calls against it so that we can make an extra $20 or whatever. Or I could just own this and collect the dividends and go do something else. You know, but people's brains do. Like, they feel like they have to tinker and fuck with it and touch it and sell it, and it's like they have to do something, and it's like, nope. Most of the time, if you just did nothing, you'll do better. You know, and then, you know, for me, I'm never, you know, I don't sell something that goes into my buy and hold. It's ride or die. So if it goes in there, it's usually for life. I've only sold 2 that I can think of, and that's usually because the company lies to me. If the company fucks up and they miss sales and that's the cycle of owning business. So like Hanes Brands. Well, 3 years from now, Hanes Brands could be $22 because they bring in fucking Kim Kardashian or something, and they do a turnaround and they bring in the CEO from this, and I don't know. Or maybe it goes to zero. I do know they got a couple $1 billion, and they know how to make underwear, and I wear them. Not theirs, but I do wear them. And so I know a little bit about them. Most of my life, you know, early on in life, my mom started making me wear underwear and shirts. I don't know if you have to. I don't know if you wear underwear or not, but if you did, I think you see a need for it. Now, I know all you guys probably wear Louis Vuitton underwear or something. Most America does not. And so that's why I like those kind of companies, because I understand it. And they've had a lot of legitimate problems. And so that's how you get stocks on sale, by the way. And so a problem isn't a reason to sell a stock. Now think about that. You really got to think on these things, man. The thoughts you hold in your mind are what going to be what makes you a wealthy person. Now look at the demise of this stock. Oh, by the way, money flow pattern clear as fuck. You see it? But it's just been terrible. Terrible, terrible. But, you know, that is what it is. You're going to have some of those. Now, if you try to run a portfolio and you never have these, you're going to have a hard time, man. Even Buffett has them, man. Like, you're going to have bad picks, and you can't move these in and out, because the times that you're going to have the best opportunity to have really made a play could have been when this company was fucked up and beat down, and that was your opportunity. And sometimes people will let what they paid for it cloud their head. And so the other day I had a guy that was going to sell Hanes Brands to buy, I forget what it was, or he was talking about it. And then there was another guy who was looking at starting a position because he couldn't believe how cheap it was. And it really drove home that shit that I'm always saying. One man's foreclosure is another man's opportunity. Harvard did a study called sunk cost. You should go look and see what that is. So here's Gush, by the way. Where did we get in at? I was about to say, did I not log this? Okay. I closed OTOO. If you remember, I was saying this was going to be a play on Delta. I had a lot of Delta shares. Delta's in the travel sector. And so I kind of got fancy. Instead of putting on a call options or a swing trade in Delta, I was trying to be slick, and I did this 2x travel ETF that seemed to be tracking Delta. That was my, and so I was like, oh, this will be an interesting way to play that. And because the money flow was telling me Delta was probably about to run. Sometimes the best trades are stocks that you've owned for a while. And that's what we saw here. Where prices, see how this moving average, once they go sideways, they're of no use to you anymore. So being below the 20 here doesn't matter. Being above the 20 here doesn't matter. Once they went sideways like this, it fucks up the moving averages. And now we're moving up. So my trade idea was right. It just didn't work. Let me see what happened. Did the one I sold take off? I got fancy there. I should have just went with my original idea. See, it barely moved. So there's shit inside this ETF that was keeping it down, even though Delta took off. So I should have just stayed with the original idea. But we did roll that money when I closed it out and I rolled it to Gush because oil looked like it was, it was setting up here. And started to run, came back. This is my favorite play where it starts to run, pulls back, and then it runs. Those are my favorite. So our target will be like in this 135 range. So when it gets up here, I'm going to trim some. And then I'm going to let it run. I was surprised by how many people did not know this in Discord. Okay? You cannot be walking around out here considering yourself a functioning fucking adult and you don't know this, okay? You cannot, triple leveraged ETFs are not stocks. These are synthetic. You can't trust these charts because the numbers are leveraged. And so if you understand the way math works, it comes down. This is why they do reverse splits, man. They got to make up for those lost numbers inside of the leverage, okay? And so this would actually tracks the XLE. So you just want to figure out what sector is it actually tracking. Gush. Pretty sure Gush is the XLE. Let's see. Might be the other one. So let's pull up the XLE. My internet sucks. So yeah, same chart pattern. So pretty much same. So for here, it's like in the 87 range. We want to use Gush because it's 3x or 2x, and so you get more movement for less money. Pretty much the way way that plays. Yeah, my man said whipsaws. That's the problem if you rely on moving averages. So that's why we got to learn this market structure, and you got to very quickly realize where's your anchor point, where's your pivot point. I'm really not concerned with the crossing back and forth of the moving averages. It's more where's the price in relation to it, and then where are the moving averages, and what are they sloping up, down, or are they going sideways? Where is what is the pattern looking like, and where is the histogram? Is the momentum? And all I'm looking at for the histogram is momentum. So if the blue tick is higher than the last blue tick, that momentum is to the upside. If it ticks down, now the momentum has turned and it's to the downside. And I'm really most concerned with the tops and the bottoms. And if you look, they kind of correlate with these stage threes. So as this stage 3 is playing out, I fully anticipate the MACD starts to go down. Well, no shit. The MACD's telling you the upward momentum is done. And so if this keeps ticking down, but price holds out, that's your stage 3. And very well could break out and run higher or break down and do like it did here and run the stage 4. And then you see what? Just that perfect money flow pattern. And now we're breaking out again. This one's been pretty easy trading. Right? pretty easy. So I would, for me, I'm looking for it to come right up and into here. That's a target, and then I'm gonna watch this RSI, and as it hits the RSI, I'm gonna trim it, and then trim it, and then I'm gonna let it play out. I'm gonna wait for the stage 3, take some down, and then if it breaks down, I'll get out. And that's a trade, man. Obviously, you would do buy and holds different, but really see it in your head, man. See a trade in your head. What does it look like? And ask yourself, why are you doing things, man? Why am I doing this? Why do I think this? And be, again, I don't let what I pay for stocks, they're not involved in the stock decision, whether I add to a stock. I don't add to a stock just because I'm down in it. That's a dumb reason. Nor do I sell one just because I'm up in it. Again, another dumb reason. You might trim it, but even then you got to ask yourself, why? Why do you think it can't go any higher? And you got to ask yourself, what is it you're going to do with it? And do you have a track record of doing better? Meaning, do you often trim at just the right time and roll it into the next thing, and you're able to roll profits forward and you're able to beat the market? I mean, is that your fucking experience? Or you know? What's up, bro? How you doing? He says, can we buy options on the dip along with share in stage 1 and 3? I mean, you can. The problem you're going to run into is time decay, bro. That's the thing with you guys in the options, man. I really think you'd probably do a lot better if you just traded triple leverage funds, and you don't have to worry about that. You're going to have time decay on the fund, but you don't have to worry about that. The decay of the options. And then also the thing about shares. Once I get my trigger, so this is money flow. Once I have this trigger. When I get my first one, I could just buy a few. You don't have to buy them all in one moment, man. Now we're breaking out. So, you could have bought some that day, here. Now, I can't buy here. Prices already broke out. Horses left the barn. So the next thing I'm going to do is be trimming when it gets up here into this 86 range. So for me, it's all pretty cut and clear, man. So try to see it in your head. What is it you're trading? Momentum? And what does that look like? And not everything needs to be traded. Some things are just owned, and you're just buying because it makes sense in your portfolio for the size of your position, for the sector you're in, for what you're trying to accomplish, Again, so I picked up some AT&T today. I don't like the stock, to be honest. Their fundamentals are terrible. I've owned it for a lot of years, so I'm going to keep it. And, it's undervalued. It's trading underneath the 200-day. And we picked it up right there at, 1580 after lunch. Why? Because I got my exact pattern that I look for. I wait for my anchor point. We had one here. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Look. Price got over the 5. So if you go look on my log, what does it say? 531 adding to AT&T. Let's see. Bam. Look at that. And on the 4th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me page 1 by. So I do it the same every time, man. But it's got to be undervalued. There's got to be a reason that I'm doing it. I don't just do it because I bought it one time. I'm not doing it to lower my cost basis. I actually hate that phrase. Well, I'm just trying to lower my cost basis. It's like, really? Nobody gives a fuck what your cost basis is. What does that matter? What does that matter? I mean, think on that, man. What if instead of doing that, you put it in Delta over here, and Delta went up 15%? Are you going to be like, well, I'm up 15% in Delta, but I didn't get a chance to lower my cost basis over here in like I don't know, man. It's weird to me. It's weird language. It's not, I don't talk like that. I'm just adding to my positions, man. And it's pretty expected. Like the first 2 years or so that you come into the stock market, your shit's going to go down. If you have some expectation that you're going to just start buying stocks and have this portfolio and you're going to build it, and it's just going to go green, well, you're fucking delusional, because that's not how it works, guys. And it wouldn't be uncommon at all. Shortly after you come in, the market sells off and it goes into, I don't know, 15, 18-month bear market. You want that. Most people are too stupid to realize that they need that. They're just dumb. They don't know that really what's going to make them wealthy is that all the times that the market was down, all the stage ones, all the house foreclosures, all the deals that you did when everybody else wouldn't do them, all those things, that's what at the end is all worth so much. It's not the meme thing you caught or the breakout in AI or any, that stuff's fine, and that's trading. But what's going to have made you wealthy is that house you bought in 1989 and you're still in it. And then your wife talked you out of doing a HELOC on it so you wouldn't do something stupid and then go borrow the down payment for another property. Now you got 2 properties and 3 fucking mortgages. What could go wrong? Telling you, man, it's easy to get it fucked up when you start using non-investor logic when you come into the markets, because it's not based on logic. And really, in a buy and hold account, if it's me, I'm focusing on share count, and I'm focusing on growing that passive. So I think it was Lisa today posted she just went over $30,000 in passive, meaning in dividends. So if she does nothing, that's 30 grand. I mean, that was done quick too, if I'm not mistaken. Lisa did that pretty fast, man. So, and inside of that, there's going to be stocks she's underwater in. Okay, what does that have to do with the imbalance there? What does that have to do with the dividend collection? Do you not want a dividend if your price is, like if you bought it up here and then it fell down here and just stays there for a long time, do you not want the dividend? I mean, it's like, of course you do. Like you're going to get so playing that over a long period of time, catching these stage ones and then just letting them ride and just get real clear too. Like, how are you using the money flow? I mean, are you trading it? And what does that look like? Break it down. Entry, exit, target. Like break that down. And if it's investing, there's no need to sell anything ever. You don't need to. I'll trim every so often, but I don't trim every time that's not the goal. My goal is to hold them and multiply them and grow them over long periods of time. And I don't want to avoid the downside. I want the fucking thing to downside. I want it to fucking crash and everyone's scared and you guys all sell your stocks and fucking quit. That's what I want. I need a housing crisis. I need fucking recessions. Like we need these things, man. We need the fucking average people to freak out and all lose their job. Like you need that, man. Chaos. Chaos. That's why the new book's called Chaos to Cash. Fucking chaos. You better get to where you can thrive on it. Fuck, dude, I wake up hoping. Where's you at? Matt just came in. Should I wake up every day? I hope I hope his entire account drops 30 fucking percent. I hope you're down 300 grand in the morning. That'd be everyone, right? Like I hope all you guys are. I hope there's like we wake up tomorrow and everybody's down like 30 fucking percent. That would be fucking beautiful. You think I'm kidding? I actually often, when I go to bed, pray that happens. Please, God, smash it. Smash this motherfucker. Maybe that's why he doesn't answer me, because I curse in my prayers, but you guys know I love Uber, right? I got a lot of Uber, man. Uber's going to buy me a rental property here soon. I have a very large outsized position. That doesn't mean you should love it just because I love it, because I could be wrong. Uber's trading at $38. It was $40. Let me take you back to the good old times. I want to be a billionaire so freaking bad. Back in COVID days. The big old crash of 2020. I bought a Uber for $14.65, I think, or 67 cents. He said, not a fan of Uber. You a big fan when you buy it for $14. Uber's one of the greatest companies in the world. Uber saves lives on a daily basis. Uber's cut down on crime, save a number of people from going to prison. Uber now makes it possible for handicapped people to travel around the city because you motherfuckers aren't going to pick them up and take them anywhere. So you have all these people stranded in their house or have disabilities who now can travel thanks to Uber. Thanks, Uber. Uber has changed the lives of many people all over the world, myself included. It's one of the most innovative companies, and it actually saves lives. And all you guys do is bitch about the price. So whenever God comes down and gives people things that actually saves people's lives, we just complain about it. Uber saves lives. It's one of the greatest modern companies in the world. My point is, if you don't embrace the chaos, you're never going to be good at this game. Take that in. Embrace it, man. Think about it. Welcome it. Want it. You think Navy SEALs sit around going, man, I hope we don't have to go shoot anyone. I hope there's no wars. Let's just train all day and I hope one doesn't happen. No. There are men who want to fight. They look forward to the chaos. And inside of that chaos, it reveals themselves, man, their true character. You ever notice though? I say that stuff a lot. Have you ever heard me say that I think there's a recession, or I think stocks are going to go down a lot, or I think you shouldn't buy houses here? You ever hear me say that dumb shit that I hear people say all the time? You ever heard me say that? You ever heard me go, "Oh, this is a bad time to be in the stock market"? You ever hear me say that? Have you ever heard me say, "Oh, you don't want to buy houses right now"? You ever hear me say that? All that YouTube clickbait bullshit. Why is everything a lie on clickbait now? Literally, every fucking thumbnail is a lie. Like, that's not even what they're talking about. Oh, you don't want to own stocks now. By guys that ain't even own stocks. They ain't even been in the market 6 years. They somehow got the economic global economy figured out. Motherfucker ain't even got good credit. He knows all about it. He ain't even got good credit, and yet somehow he understands the global economy. Explain that to me. I had this conversation yesterday. This guy's going on and on and on about how bad the economy is, and I was like, "What is your credit score, bro?" He was like, "What? Your credit score? What the hell's that got to do with anything?" Well, you seem to know a lot about finances and stuff, like high level shit too. Like, you're talking about the Federal Reserve and interest rates, and it's pretty goddamn complicated. It's not as simple as you're making it out to be, man. And I got a feeling you probably don't know a lot about the bond market or the currency market or municipal bond market or the REITs or mortgage-backed securities or closed-end funds or index funds or REITs or private equity firms or family offices or trust or I don't know how much you know, but you seem to have all this figured out. So I was curious, what is your credit score? So it gets hard to take someone serious if they can't manage their own checkbook. So be careful as you listen to people, man. I listen to these people. I'm getting off track here. I was gonna post these yesterday. I went to YouTube. See, these fuckers don't think I don't. I keep their little thumbnails, and it's like, oh, coming collapse. 6 months later, oh, coming collapse. 6 months later, oh, coming collapse. And the market just goes higher and fucking higher and higher. And this shit goes on and on and on and on and on. And you'll see it in the housing thing. Go on there. Go look at all the big housing gurus. Then go back 1 year and go back 2 years. And it's all the same shit. Coming recession. My point to all that is they don't know. Nobody does. But what I do know, if price is going to go up, it goes above this green line. Every time. Every time. Every time. It's math. It's math. I mean, it's impossible for price to go up without going above that green line. And we can look back and historically prices, run in a 14 to say 20, 21 day window where if they go too far, it's like a rubber band. They get pulled back to that green line so that it gets stretched, right? And so we don't have to know how high or how low or up or down. We don't have to know that. As we begin to apply the money flow, we can just lay it on there and apply it. And the question of trimming, selling, getting out, getting in, it just needs to make sense to what your end goal was. And you should never buy anything without knowing what it looks like or why you're doing it, right? So often, if I'm talking to someone about buying rental property, I'm like, well, describe one to me. They're like, what do you mean? Describe a rental property. In your mind, what is it? And so we should, what kind of sink? Now, the science of getting rich, I have a podcast, you guys know this on my podcast, where I talk about holding a thought in formless substance, that if you hold it there long enough, you can manifest it. What he's talking about there is in going in detail. So if I sit and I think about a house, about 900 square feet, maybe a little less. Depends on where the bathroom is, because sometimes they're in the middle. See how I start thinking about it? But if the bathroom's in the corner, and if we got 2 bedrooms, hopefully the closet's on the longer side wall be a bigger closet. That would be cool. Hopefully just 2 windows per room. Ideally, now I'd kind of prefer if there wasn't a window in the bathroom. You see how I start thinking this through? What kind of lights? Probably got them old ones, man, but we could put those new LED. I don't know. We'll see the layout of the house. We'll either go round or square. I like that one new sink, man. We could put that. There's only one sink in the house, right? Yeah. So you see how we start going through it, man. That's how you buy rental properties. What about the knobs on the cabinets? What about the quarter round? What kind are you going to use? What about in the bathroom, man? You're going to trim out the... You see, so as I go, look, that's what I'm thinking, man. And so same thing when I see a trade, I visualize it, and I go, okay, if I'm buying the breakout, I know I'm going to get out at the previous high. I know what the RSI... And I see all this in my head, man. You get what I'm saying? I know what it looks like. And so try to see that. And the more you can visualize it, the more your trading will get better and it'll get clearer, Yeah, my man here makes a really good point. I hate to beat on it too much because you're 100% right, my man. We got to do that podcast too, man. I've been in a little bit of a mind slump at the moment. And a lot of depression, man. That aside though doesn't keep me. I'm very depressed. I still trade the shit out of stocks. Out trade anybody. I can trade stocks drunk, depressed, and fucking half asleep better than most people could do it if they were prepped and awake. The I go to bed thinking about them. Charts, looking at charts. I wake up to it every day. Every fucking day. Let's see. I don't take off for vacations. I go on vacation, but I still trade. When that dies, yeah, then they switch to Airbnb, and then Turbo, and then all those guys are all, yeah. I don't talk about a lot because some of them I know, but yeah, that's just those guys are just social people, social media, fucking whatever. Yeah, that I don't know about, man. I don't know that, and I wouldn't teach you guys anything else because all I like is stocks, and if you don't like stocks, I ain't got no fucking reason to talk to you. You get what I'm saying? Like I love stocks. And I was telling the guy the other day, he was trying to decide whether he was going to keep trading or not. I mean, the fact that you asked me, you probably should quit. I can't even imagine asking somebody that. Um, on one hand, though, it is a good. I mean, sometimes you may have been just talking out loud, but you got to ask yourself that, And if I and I told him, if I lost money every week, if I lost $100, $200 every week trading, I'm going to trade to the end of my life. I mean, that's already been decided, man. I don't trade for money. I mean, hopefully I make money. That's not why I'm trading. I just like trading. I like stocks. I like the movement. I think this here is art. I think watching the prices. I think watching the price of oil move and the Saudi Arabians cut it and the SEC's moving in on Bitcoin like that. I live for that shit. I can't imagine life without that. Like I don't know how people do that. So for me, I'm gonna do it anyway. Now, a lot of people and so sometimes that's hard for me, like because I know not everyone has that same commitment level, and it's unfair to even expect someone to be that committed. I just don't see any other fucking point in doing it. If you're not committed, just fuck go do something else, man. It's too fucking hard, man. You and Matt at all? My daughter wanted to. No, I'm not. I'm not in Matt. I am in Hasbro, my man. We were in Hasbro. Picked up some down here too. Nice run. Um, we're in. I'm in Hasbro. Look at these money flow runs too. They're small, but you can see the pattern. That's it, man. Hope that helps. Get clear, man. Get clear. Get fired up, man. You guys you need to love trading, man. Hey, when you lose money, good. You needed it. You didn't need that fucking money anyway. Like, get over it. Go lose some money, man. Who gives a fuck? Like, go out today, give $20 to a homeless person. Fuck it. Like, you're gonna lose money trading. And the other thing I would leave everybody with this, man, is what's up, Michael? Michael is I would a lot of you guys don't trade because you don't have money. That's the dumbest fucking reason. I get people that tell me that all the time. Why you gotta cuss so much? Keep it clean, bro. No, fuck off. This is my channel. I've been cussing here long before you got here. Matter of fact, I think I even cuss in my book, man. How about that? There you go. Is that clean enough for you? Um, let's see. What was I gonna say? Stop cussing, sir. Um, what was I was gonna say? Oh, I get this a lot, man. That people don't have the money to trade. You don't need money to trade, guys. You need money to make money trading. I always get a pause when I say that to people. You don't need money to trade. I mean, almost every platform has a paper trading thing, right? And it's the same. You enter the trade, You're in it. I know. I get guys all the time that'll tell me, but it's not the same emotions. Uh-huh. Okay. That's because you ain't done it with me. Click the damn button. Like, let's go, man. Put the trade on. Right? There ain't no, I mean, there's no, money is not the reason. Like, you can learn to trade without money. And here's an idea. Maybe God will give you the money because you took the time to learn. And that's called manifestation. And what you hold in your mind, what you think about, will come about. Whatever you think about, whatever you focus on, that's the shit that comes in your life. So if you're like, man, I ain't got the money right now, but I'm going to take like 10, 20, 30 of these, whatever you're swinging, day trade, whatever it is you're doing it in that paper and you're executing. And as long as you're honoring it and you're executing correctly and you're doing it, you're going to do just fine, man. Like, you're going to learn. So the idea that you need money to trade, that's just some bullshit excuse that your girlfriend gave you. You'd be like, yeah, mama, I would trade, but I don't have the money right now. It's like bullshit. You ain't even learned yet. So learn first. If you learn, the money will follow. That's been my experience. Same on real estate. A lot of people are like, well, I ain't got the money right now. Hey, you walk in any houses? No. It's free. You know, it's free to look at them. The realtor ain't doing shit anyway. They can go show it to you. Both of you ain't got the money. So you're looking at it with no money. The realtor's looking at it. He ain't got no money either. Or he'd have bought it. Right? And so you're both looking at it. But at least you're out looking at properties. The guy who's talking about it, he's further away than you. There's people that got the money talking about it, still can't get off the couch, still haven't walked a unit. Man, you start walking them, shaking hands, looking around. So you don't need money to look at properties. That's just the excuse people give for not getting up and getting out and starting to do it. Yeah, man. That's how it works. Here's what you should do too. Take a week off, man, and just sit there. Day trade the money flow on a 1 minute chart just for fun. Don't put any real money in. Just do it. And what'll happen if you do this 5 hours a day, all day, what's going to happen is you're going to do 35, 40, 50, maybe 60 trade executions, maybe 100 that week. And all of a sudden you're going to know a lot.
Yeah, that seemed good.
Yeah, it's only 420.
I know, but the one store closes at 5.
Oh.
That indicator.
And like Michael said, you can literally buy shares with, yeah, you obviously can do it with smaller money too. Yeah, true stuff, man. True stuff there, Corey. I walk properties all the time that I cannot afford to buy. There's no way in hell. And I'm still walking it, looking at them, talking to them, looking at the units, looking how bad it is. I put time in there. The only way I know to get them is to start doing that, man. So, good stuff, man. Appreciate you guys. I have paper trade on Webull when I don't take a live trade. Wow, there you go. A lot of people can't do that, man. You know, they're like, oh, I'm so busy. And then they only take like 4 trades and it's like a year later and they're like, I don't know if I know this money. And it's like, yeah, because you haven't done shit in a year. You've barely even done anything. So here's an idea. Or they'll get so, it's just too many. It's too much coming out. Shut, man, come on, man. Get your shit together. It's just a like thing on a screen. Like, stop. It's not that big a deal. Click the damn button when you're supposed to. Stop clicking it when you're not supposed to. It's pretty fucking simple. Click when you're supposed to. Don't click when you're not. That's it. And all you got to define is the click, man. So, yeah, man. I know. He says, I wish I'd have taken the advice. Yeah, I wish I'd have taken mine too, man. Yeah. All right, man. You guys be good. Appreciate you. You can always go to back of my newsletter. It's free for all you cheap, greedy bastards who can't even tell me, oh, hey, thanks for the newsletter. Don't bother doing that. Just keep spooning at home. Gush, DPST, UTS, these are new swings, but you can see what I got going on. No growth plays this week, and these are usually what I'm kind of keeping an eye on. I update this every week. You should do the same, man. Hey, here's an idea. There's 87 on here. this Sunday, send me your board or your paper. Or don't talk to me all week. Don't say shit. Don't post. Don't comment in Discord. Nothing. Don't say nothing. Nobody wants to hear from you if you can't do your homework on Sunday. Everyone on here, even if you're not in our thing. Wealth Squad, get your shit together. All you guys in the Wealth Squad should be doing this too. If I was Chris, I'd ask to see it. If you didn't send it to me, I'd kick your ass out. That's what I would do. Chris, kick them out, man. Kick all of them out. That's what he needs to do. Do your guys' homework, man. And as you go through this, you're going to learn all these you're going to learn so much, man. So do it this week, all right? Peace out. All right, YouTube. Man, I couldn't even see the... Sorry if you guys had questions I didn't have. I was just babbling there at the end. Do you ever get excited when a trade goes your way, or are you accustomed to it? That's a good question. Nope, I do not. I wish I could tell you I do. I am happy. I'm more happy for other people than me. I mean, I don't doubt it anymore. I don't really worry about sell-offs, and I don't know. It doesn't have the same effect, but I know if you're new, I know it's exciting. I know it's fun to me. Up or down, I mean, I'm more excited about dividends, if I was being honest. Thank you, chat. Disconnected, please wait while we try to reconnect it. Huh. All right, man. Peace out.